What's up, everyone? Ironman Dave here, bringing you today the long-awaited 12 Climbs of Christmas. What an epic adventure! I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the film.
All right, thank you for being our first climb.
Sir,
Cool. Have you done this before?
huh?
Right on.
Fun. As we're approaching the first hill here, I thought I'd take a moment to share the rich history of the 12 Climbs of Christmas. This event's been going on for almost 2 decades. This is the 16th annual event in 2024. I've only been able to attend last year and this year, and I was super excited to get back out because last year was the first time I heard of it since I'm pretty new to cycling. But the guy right in front of me in the orange and white jersey and bib, he's really the host of this whole entire event, so huge shout out to Brian. All right, so now we're getting to the juicy stuff. First off, a Tesla's coming down from the hill. There's only about 3 houses on this little steep drive, so it must have been one of them. And you can hear a couple people chirping out there, but we're entering really the steepest part of this climb. And as you'll see, there's a guy here on my right. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I heard a chain snapped at one point, and somebody on Sorrel Hill, I don't know if it was him or not, but you can see he's walking his bike up. The steeper part of this climb gets to about 17%, I believe, from what my Garmin's saying. But you can see I'm huffing and puffing to get up toward the front of the pack. Luckily, again, you really want to space yourself if you're coming out to do this event because middle and back to pack can get a little bit crowded, congested, especially the first couple of hills. Some people will drop off later, but this is a new position I put myself in, learning from last year. So once we got to the top here at this little drive and circle, most people stop, but you know I had to follow my boy Brian, go all the way up to the top where the person's driveway begins, and there's a fence, little gates, a little bonus extra. Try to do this on each of the different hills, but really that's it, and I'll see you guys on the next hill. We're gonna speed things up a little bit. Another point, I just want to show how many people are actually showing up to this event. Again, the first hill is always usually the most popular and crowded, because people don't know, frankly, what they're getting into. And after that 17% climb, some people dip off and do their own thing. But super cool to see this huge
Gotta say
pack.
that happened today.
Ready to ride. 12 climbs, dude.
Let's go. How's it going? You made it, Everett.
Yeah,
Say what's up.
it's hard to gut this with 50 people.
So unfortunately, I did miss hill number 2, which is this tiny climb going up Hummingbird Lane. I didn't even really think about it while we're going up because it's such a chill hill compared to all the other ones. So we're just gonna wrap that one up and go straight to the next one, which is Invermore. So now I'm settling in a little bit. Got the nerves out on the first and second hill. Feeling a little bit better. Getting a little bit of the groove going in the flow state, as you would say. The first part of this Invergordon climb, you got to get up to the driveway, which gets to a second part that you turn left at the top of the driveway, and then you do some switchbacks to get to the top of the hill. So this first part you're seeing is just the beginning of the climb, and then once I take that left, we'll go up the switchbacks.
They knew we were coming.
So this is where the fun begins. You can see the gate was wide open for us, and I said some comment about it. You can hear the GoPro footage as well. But things get interesting here as we go on the switchbacks up Invergordon. The road is pretty shoddy at one spot. You can see the footage, shoddy for Arizona anyway. I know there's other parts of the country that are way worse, but for us, we are very, very spoiled with how nice the roads are. So how to navigate that little portion. So here we are at the regroup at the top of this infraporting climb. Unfortunately, there's construction happening, so it was fenced off to get to the very top portion. I don't even know if that'll be accessible in the future. There might be a driveway, so it might be a end of an era for that, but at least we have the gate open to get this segment done. Now we're coming up on Glen Drive, which is hill number 4 for this list. So when I was going through fast, we were going on Indian Bend at 59th place, and then it connects to this Glen Drive. Super popular spot. So we're absolutely grinding away to get up this hill, managing a pretty decent high threshold effort. Then out of nowhere, Whitey, that's his name, with the red bicycle, comes out, tries to attack me, and absolutely tries to drop me going up this hill. I wasn't going to let that slide, so once I saw this lady with her dogs, I knew we could save a little bit of energy and really burst out the top. So we'll see that here shortly, but played my cards right and passed a couple people as they were gassing out toward the top of the hill. After that satisfying zip from the freewheels in front of me, just wanted to put in additional comments here from learning lessons in last year to this year. Again, really the big point that I took away from last year was to make sure I was going in the front 20 to 30% of the group, because those people it has a little bit better spacing. It's not as crowded last year, and I really got caught up in a lot of congested areas, which were quite sketchy. So this year I made a point to make sure I was toward the front to be safer as we're going through these climbs. And I would recommend the same if anybody's coming from out of town to do this event, or sit in the very back.
Cool video. Hopefully within this weekend. Yeah. All these climbs.
So we do the water tower here. Oh, okay. Nice. And then we turn and go up this street to our left right after. And then we go to Sanctuary.
Okay. Got 3 good ones. Yeah. Definitely feeling way stronger than last year.
So there we go, some expert advice from the man himself, Brian. He's sitting right there to my left as he gave that commentary on the next couple hills. But right in front of us, we got the water tank, so I'm speeding up to that part and enjoy this climb. The infamous water tank climb. This one easily is top 3, I think, of difficulty rating of the 12 climbs, just because of how short and punchy it is, in addition to how narrow the road gets. So you'll see in this clip, the guy in front of me starts going off to the left where I was going to pass him, so I had to kind of slow down. Obviously not braking because we're about 15% grade or more, but then as soon as he goes over to the right, I go by and pass him. Again, learning from my previous mistakes of last year and then doing these hills more, I had a better intuition on how to play my cards. And again, going for my little bonus driveway adventure up to the top. I always like doing this so I can get the footage of everyone circled up in the regroup at the top of the hill.
Boom, another one down, Adam. Boom.
Alrighty, halfway done. About here on the 6th hill, coming up on Solano Drive, which takes a nice sharp right turn into San Miguel, which also has a steep driveway section at the very end. Just speeding through here, as this one's kind of a drawn out clip. But as you can see, again, I don't know what happened with the spacing, but I kind of got in the middle of the pack, so end up passing a couple people going up this hill. And navigate through and see the upcoming clip here to get up that driveway. And then coming back down so steep I had to really hit the brakes so I wouldn't run into everyone. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite clips just because you can see how many people are in this peloton. Such a great community. Super happy to be part of this ride today.
Oh yeah.
Here we are at hill number 7, my personal favorite, the long sanctuary climb. I think in the past years, a decade ago, this was quite open, but since then they've built some residential housing, so as the beginning started, you could see we went past this gated area and then began the climb. Super crowded and congested, but I had a way better understanding of how long and drawn out this one was compared to last year, so I really, again, saved myself a little bit so I could have a little bit of a burst and attack toward the top of this hill. But overall, this view at the top too is just phenomenal, and for sure my favorite climb of the entire 12 climbs of Christmas. Funny story about this one too is last year, after we did the 12 climbs, I tried to go up by myself, and when I got to the very top, I was pumping, huffing and puffing. Heart rate was like 190 something, and I started getting yelled at by one of the homeowners asking if I lived there. So I don't recommend going out by yourself to check this one out, but it's good with the group. And of course, just like all the other ones, I try to go for that little extra bit to make myself a little stronger on the driveway here. So just doing a quick circle around and then saying hi to everyone that's coming up, cheering them on.
You're on YouTube. Let's go. Kill it, kill it, kill it. Nice. Boom.
Hill number 8 now. We're getting close to the donut stop. This is the Sage climb, which is the precursor to Choya. A little bit easier, not a whole lot to say until there's a guy with a factor bike. So we're speeding along. He was going up this entire hill without trying to touch his handlebar, and I was chatting with him for a minute. I don't know if it was just out of boredom or just a challenge he was trying to do. But yeah, as you can see, started out toward the middle of the pack and really went on a good attack here and passing a lot of people toward the top of the climb. So really happy with this effort. Another good PR. Hill number 9 here, getting close to the end. Going up this first part of the hill, the Choya climb has a little bit of an easier part to start, and then once we take that right turn, it immediately starts getting difficult going up this part. So I'm just thinking about the donut I'm going to be eating going up this climb. Again, really feeling confident at this point in my abilities and kind of played it conservatively to start. But once we made that right and then started going up this second part of the hill, I just unleashed the beast and went ham to really try to get that PR. So having all these people surrounding me made it super motivating and blasted through to the top, securing another huge PR. And here's the bombing descent footage going down Choya. The only thing really to note about this is that at the initial right turn, if you were to go straight up it, I made a comment on the video. It was actually open. The gate is rarely open, so unfortunately didn't get to take advantage of that, but that was something of note in this little section. So taking a look more closely on the actual elevation plot for this entire activity, I found that there's technically 13 different climbs that really get sharp here. I'm not going to count this one, this 56th Street climb, as it's the introduction into the castle climb. So I think this one's probably the wash, either that or the second one that wasn't filmed, Hummingbird. Maybe that one doesn't count. It's either that one or this one, but we'll just say that 56th Street is the one that doesn't count. Again, this is just a pretty straightforward up the hill, take a left and then a right, and it leads you right into the castle, which will be our next climb. But not a whole lot to say here, just feeling pretty good, excited for an aid station after the castle climb. Really quick on the descent here, Blake and I went ahead and started early. We went down Bella Vista to Arcadia Drive, then Rock Ridge, and then on Dumadrary, he had a mechanical issue where his chain actually went in between the chainstay and the frame, and then I forgot to record the castle, so unfortunately I don't have that footage. So as you could hear there was definitely a mechanical issue. The chain drops, and unfortunately, because I paused the footage here, I forgot to restart it as we're climbing up the hill. However, I got the descent here, so we'll just roll with that. All right, so hill number 11 here, pretty straightforward, just a little short punchy climb. The nickname is Keys for the segment. I got dropped by Whitey, as you can see in the footage. Feeling pretty fatigued at this point, even though I had a soda and a donut at the aid station. Didn't quite rescue me, but I still gave it my best effort. So I just included this footage here because very satisfying, and it's part of the Sunday congregation route. If you know, you know. This is the Keem climb area, just a little rolling hill section in Paradise Valley. So I thought it'd be cool to include, not necessarily a climb again, but just a nice fast section. Okay, here we are. It's 36th Street, the very last hill climb for this event. It's very long and stretched and drawn out on this ascent here. One of the most difficult, I would say, after all of the previous hills, but did get a huge PR on this one, pushing over 300 and watts for the 5 minute duration going uphill. This is a 304-foot ascent going up. And it's rated number 4 difficulty on the Strava segment calculator. Average heart rate here was 168. And yeah, just over 5 minutes to get up to the top. And now finishing up the entire video, we have the descent of 36th Street. Super fun cruising down this. The road's just a tiny bit sketchy, but really quick downhill. You can get over 40 miles per hour very easily on the sharpest point down. Typically try to just keep it under control, but super fun outing. Anyways, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks a lot. Like and subscribe for more. Leave a comment if you really loved it or have any questions about this event. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Cheers.